part of the business. It's just saying, how are you also going to protect me? How are you going to protect what I also do with my negotiations? How are you going to protect? And I have to agree with what Roger's saying. I don't think you're going to ever totally eliminate that 100%. And I think that's why there are these very expensive systems that are out there.
We're losing 20% of our cargo every year to cargo theft, which equates to about $3.6 trillion.
You're absolutely right, but I would like to see the numbers and the data.
And sitting around and turning around and going, you're never going to do it, you're never going to stop
80% of them are inside jobs. 80% of that is inside jobs. And if you want to get to the Bill of Lading Act, Canada has its own laws, which is called the Bill of Lading Act. And they do it for a reason. And 95% of motor carriers don't know the power in a bill of lading. They don't. I'll tell you right now. That's why I revise mine every 6 months. Because the power of it is so strong. Go ahead, Sarah.
I think we had that conversation earlier, didn't we, in my live about...
Exactly, Sarah. Yeah, and somebody Google Bill of Lading Act in Canada. And I've used that act on manufacturers that ship huge volumes, that used us, that went insolvent, they went bankrupt, and I used that Bill of Lading Act against the receiver to get payment. And we're talking about $70,000. We're not talking.
Well, I just don't want Cupcake to feel like we're bagging on them. I don't think we are. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not either.
Well, no. When you sit here and come in and say it's never going to happen and I'll never get it done, that's negative. And I don't listen to that bullshit. That's bullshit.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I don't believe in negative. I don't do negative.
I don't think you'll get shippers though, Cupcake, to agree to want to put what they're paying.
You know what?
You know
what the thing of it is this. I can't. You don't want. You also what? You know what shippers don't want to do? They don't want to pay us any more than $200 a fucking day for layover. They don't want to pay us any more than $20 an hour for detention.
That's not fact. That's not fact.
Really?
We get more than that. We have
You're
to get more than that.
Shit, about the most we can get here is like $250 a day, and that's bullshit.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
we
but
can
that
only get 250 as well.
But how do you go about it? Do you justify the cost? Like it
doesn't matter, Roger. It doesn't matter.
I justify my cost.
And you know what? The thing of it is this. You're dealing with a totally different country with different laws, rules, and regulations.
Like, I've had a driver once in Fort McMurray wait 46 hours to get unloaded. 46 hours. Go ahead, Sarah.
They're actually a dual... they're actually in Canada and the United States. Are you, Roger?
Yeah. So it's... Yeah, we get more than $250.
You can. And this is
that's $20 an hour.
The thing of it is this.
It's $20 an hour for a Class 1 driver with a $300,000 combination asset. You know, and $20 an hour doesn't work. I'm sorry.
I'm aware. But the thing of it is you literally just had two other people tell you, no different than what I did. They only want to pay, and this is the problem. You talk about the shipper only wants to pay $250. This is where you can't just leave it up to the shipper.
Pay anything.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Go ahead.
Look,
you gotta force
Cupcake,
them to pay.
Yeah, and Roger's absolutely right. I'm gonna give you an example. I had a driver picked up a load in Kansas, just a load of chicken in Kansas, or I'm sorry, a pork in Kansas, going down to Laredo. Gets down to Laredo. I was told by the shipper that they were going to receive the driver on Saturday. Driver gets down there, calls me up and says they're not going to take this till Monday. I'm like, oh shit, you're kidding me? Nope. Can you find out what's going on? Yes, I can. I call the customer. Hey, they're telling the driver that they're not going to take them until Monday. Oh shit, let me contact my customer in Mexico. They contact the customer in Mexico. Customer in Mexico says he was not aware that they charge extra money for them to unload on Saturdays. He doesn't want to unload it until Monday. He just found this out. And I just said, okay, what are we going to do with this guy? He says, shipper says he's willing to pay him $150 a day. I'm like, $150 you're going to pay this guy? I said, okay, I'll ask the driver. $150. He's like, no, I want $650. I went back to the customer. I said, $650. What? $650? I go, he's not going to deliver the load until he gets this. So let's pay him so that we get the load off. Now, this is where I say, as a broker, this is our responsibility for our carriers to fight for them. Now, there's a lot of these brokers out there, and they're weak, and they have no fucking negotiation skills. They have no way of, and they have no way of doing. They're scared that they're going to lose their customer. They're scared that they're going to lose their customer. They're scared that they're going to, and I don't. I go, pay this guy, get him out of there. Let's not, it's $600. If you take a loss, oh, well, we lost. You know what I mean? I'm losing. I mean, I'm making $200 on it. Take it off of my rate. Let's get this guy. I'm just saying, like, you can get more money. And like Roger's saying, but you have to threaten the shit out of them to get them to do it.
I just got threatened with arrest. I got threatened with arrest by Tyson River Ingredients and Cuthbert, Georgia. Either I left the property or I was getting towed and arrested because I said it's either coming off of my trailer or we're giving me a rate con that shows I'm getting layover in detention for this.
What do you think if you would have let law enforcement intervene there? Do you think they would have done anything?
That's what he
I'm
should have done.
going to fucking jail. I'm in southern Georgia, bro.
That's okay.
Well, wait.
That's okay. You're in with a lot of your friends.
Because you're not. The only thing they're gonna tell you. I mean, you're basically gonna go there and you're gonna say, "Hey, I'm not trespassing. I picked up a load on this property."
Exactly.
Okay, I picked up a load here. This product that's on here does not belong to me. I did not pay for it. They put this load on my thing. I have a dispute, and what they're going to tell them is they're going to go, sir, we cannot remove somebody from your property that is not illegally here. This is the police do not handle civil disputes. They handle.
Actually, all they have to do is said he's being trespassed right now.
No, they don't.
And either I leave,
I think it would be real. It'd be real hard. I think.
Rocky, what do you think? What do you think?
I think it would be hard. I know these places will threaten that shit and hope you'll just go
it'd be
on,
hard for them to get you to be removed because that product, Cupcake, at the end of the day, does not belong to you. You didn't steal it. You did not commit a criminal act. I've had this happen to me. I had a carrier that wouldn't unload in L.A. Dude, I have fucking a million stories. You want stories? I'll give you fucking stories that'll make your head spin. I had a guy take a fucking load from fucking Pennsylvania to LA. The whole way the guy was bitching at me to fucking pay him. I told him I wouldn't pay him. I wouldn't pay him till he got over there. Dude, I called the when he got into California, I called the California Highway Patrol. They escorted him to the shipper. They told me they couldn't do shit, that this is a civil dispute. He is not stealing the load. They can't do anything about it. And they said that he's here on the property and he will unload the load as soon as his money is deposited into his account.
Hey,
I fucking deposit. But they wouldn't arrest him.
I am not taking the chance of getting arrested.
No, I get it.
Hey,
I get where you're coming from, brother. I get where you're coming from.
You could have called me. I'd have ran up to South Georgia, got you, and bailed you out and brought you here to the house and fed you a steak dinner.
You know, the thing of it is I'm not taking the chance, guys. I'm not going to do it.
I understand your position, Cupcake.
So you know the thing of it is this: if we do like what I have on the rulemaking that says all accessorials have to be on the damn rate con, then guess what? It's all there. We don't have to worry about the dick measuring contest. My detention time's already on the contract that I've agreed to. There's no arguing after the fact. The layover is already on the contract. There's no arguing after the fact.
Now, your detention time should be in your agreement with the broker on the load anyway, your detention rate.
Not all of them have that.
Well, then
when you go over to the agricultural industry, bud, they don't put it on there.
Can you put it in yours like we do with the
course he
vans
can.
rate and everything? Where
All
we
he's
put
gotta
it
do
in
is set up a
ours.
tariff.
This is our detention policy. This is our layover pay. And if they give you the load and sign up to it, that's what they're going to get billed, and that's what they'll have to pay. So
Do you have
I
a
don't know if it-
contract? But do
in
you,
the
okay. Do you have a
Right.
contract with Riticles between each shipper, each direct bill shipper?
But
This
he
was a
works with
brokered load.
but he's working with the broker. Yeah, he was working
Well,
with the
just
broker.
hang on.
This
Just
was a
hang on,
brokered
Cisco.
load.
So Cisco, just hang on. Have you
This
got a
was a
list?
brokered load.
Have you got a list of Riticles? And that's the legal term, Riticles with an R. Do you have a list of Riticles that you send to the broker with the signed rate card? Yes or no?
I don't send it now.
There you go.
Well,
That's your problem.
Roger,
Send it.
Roger, a
Because
lot-
that way, it's all there.
Roger.
Yes, ma'am.
If I can stop you for a minute, a lot of brokers, if you start telling them you want this and this and this and this, they won't work with you.
Well, Sarah,
Thank you.
Sarah, you ready? Once again, it's up to you to build your systems and processes in place where you virtually eliminate a broker.
There,
You
there
know,
has to
back
be,
when-
you know what? You're not going to completely eliminate brokers from your
I
life.
didn't say
hate
that.
to tell you. So, you know,
But
this
back-
is the thing.
No, I
We have to
understand
stop the
what you're saying.
bullshit. We
Right.
have to stop the bullshit that's going on throughout the industry.
The carrier will tell
I-
me ahead of time, look, you know what, I charge this, I do this, I do that. I go put it in writing. Please, send me an email what your accessorials are. Let me know, and I'll be upfront with them and I'll tell them, hey, look, you know what? You're picking up at the plant. You're picking up at a manufacturer. You're not picking up at a cold storage. You're not picking up at a warehouse, okay? This is a place where they're actually producing the product. They will not pay you by the hour. If this is a problem for you, please don't take my load. I don't want to fight with you and I don't want to argue. If the time goes over the 24-hour period from their time that this was supposed to be ready, their drop dead time or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, I'm not sure what the term is, but that time that load was supposed to be ready, they will pay after that a layover fee of the layover for the truck, 24-hour layover, but they will not pay it by the hour because of the fact that it is a manufacturer and it's not a warehouse. So if you're okay with that, great. If you're not okay with that, please don't take the load. I mean, and I just straight up tell people that.
Conversation. We had this conversation, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So I will tell you when I was pulling my reefers, right? I always figured I was going to be somewhere for 4 hours, right?
Yep.
And you owe 2 hours to them automatically for them to do their job, and I always just figured the other 2 hours into my cost and automatically discharged them for it, and that was that.
Yep.
Good
And
job,
that's kind of
Sarah.
what
That's
I
the way
do.
to go about it.
That's what I did.
I always figure in 2 hours for both shipper and consignee in agriculture. I automatically figure it in. Just because I know how it is. It's no different than this load at Cuthbert that I'm talking about. I told him straight up, I'm not taking the load unless I know I can get loaded or they're going to pay for the layover. He calls them, he says, look, this is what's going on. They said, no, we'll get him loaded. I get there, and then we have this whole fiasco that goes on with this credit bullshit for either the shipper or the consignee. I don't know what was going on there, but something about a credit hold. And so I was there for 12 hours waiting on the load, which put me back, laid me over 4 hours, and then, I was threatened with arrest. I'm not going to sit there and deal with, let me explain this to you. Me and cops don't get along.
Did you get loaded? So what's your
I don't get
situation
along.
You're a
right
good
now?
guy. You're a good guy, Cupcake. You're a good man.
What's your situation right now? Did you get loaded or unloaded, or what's going on
I'm
there?
waiting to get unloaded.
Until Monday?
Yep.
Is this a load you were sitting on for the 3 days or whatever that you was?
No. This is one that I was supposed to unload yesterday, and then they were supposed to be open until 3:30, and I rolled in there at 2:15, and there was a ghost town. Now I can't
Are you
say
charging
this.
them for this? Do you get
Oh
get
yeah.
compensated?
Oh, Donnie and I have already. Well, that's why yesterday, the first live, I was pausing so much.
So what
me
are
and
they
Donnie
paying
were
you
talking
for?
back and forth about the whole situation because I had texted him and was like, "Hey, bro, I just pulled up here and there ain't a single soul in this place."
What are they
And he
paying you
finally,
for a
it's
layover?
Saturday afternoon. So, well, I will say this about this. He gave me every bit of the money that was in the load. So he gave me $5 more than what was in the load. And then he said, that's the start. I've got to talk with, Cargill in the or ADM in the morning. So, or on Monday morning, because there's nobody to talk to over the weekend. So
I don't necessarily disagree with you when it comes to a lot of like the layovers and all that, but mainly from my experience, I always seen that with the bigger brokerages.
well, yes and no. So Donnie is a trader that I deal with, and this is a direct load basically. So he buys and sells grain all day long, So it's one of those things. It's a direct customer. It's whatever.
It is a
Good
direct
night, babe.
customer.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. And usually they're pretty fair about it. But even with the thing of the reticles and stuff like that, there's no guarantees on it. Just because they accept it don't mean shit. Unless there's because I can tell you this, my uncle, an attorney, flat out told me this reticles thing doesn't. Yeah, you can give it to them, but it's not an agreed upon contract. Just because you send them a piece of paper don't mean nothing. So.
Right, and how do you enforce it? We don't have enough enforcement for the stuff we have now, right? So,
well,
yeah,
see,
so
this is where
I'm
we
with you
go
on
through.
that.
Well, that's where it's at. We have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. And if we just sit here and put our head in the sand like an ostrich and keep our ass in the air, the tiger's still going to come eat our ass. And that's what's happening. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So
The tiger is eating our ass.
Can you tell us exactly, like, maybe I missed a part of it, like what you're putting in there and
It's
what's it for?
accessorials. Basically what it is this. It states that, I will pull up the exact
Sarah,
wording,
we need to
'cause
go
I've got
read
right
it.
here.
I'll be honest with you. Cupcake's right. We should be reading this thing and giving him that respect, I believe, in my opinion. But go ahead. You can answer your question.
So, right here, bills of lading and rate confirmations do not merely memorialize private agreements. In practice, they function as operational control mechanisms that determine whether detention time is compensable, whether accessorial services are recognized or denied, whether scheduled compression is economic coerced, whether post-event enforcement or retaliation occurs, and whether drivers are pressured to recover lost time through unsafe operation. And basically it's stating, to just paraphrase all of this, is that all the accessorials have to be placed in the original rate con. So tonneau pay, layover pay, detention pay has to be in there. The original rate has to be on there. You have to have all the information. Every bit of it. It needs to be all on there.
Now, I've ran into stuff in the past, right, when I was pulling the reefers, right, where I had to, if I had a layover or whatever it was, right, I had to wait till the next day to call the broker to get a new rate con.
Right, and that happens, but this is where we don't need, this is where if you put detention and the layover and the tonneau, and if there is a fuel surcharge, I know it doesn't, my industry, we don't do fuel surcharges. We do, everything's basically by the ton or by the bushel or a flat rate. That's it. So I'm thinking of the entire industry here. Right. I'm not just thinking about the agricultural or the car haulers or the tanker yankers. I'm thinking about the entire industry here. So that's why I say,
it's hard, yeah.
If there is a fuel surcharge that's on there, it needs to be on the rate con. It's all it states is that all information needs to be on the rate con. Everything. None of this shit needs to be hidden. None of this after the fact fairy dust. We got to argue about it for 4 months after we deliver the load or whatever. There's none of this bullshit of the reticles and all of that. Everything is out front ahead of time. Everybody knows everything ahead of time. That's what it says. You know everything. We're not doing this bullshit where we have to argue about it after the fact. Because I hear everybody say this. I hear everybody say, you know, oh, we're doing this, or I don't ever have to deal with that, or I never had to deal with this, or I never had to deal with that. Well, you know what? You don't deal with every aspect of the industry. But I talk with drivers that are in different aspects of the industry every day.
Kind of off topic, but I'll bring it up. So WFX fired their CEO, right? Because they're pretty much going to run under Prime. So
yeah.
Be aware if anybody's using any of their brokerages, like R&R, any of them. So just let you guys know that.
Right. But yeah, the thing of it is this. It's literally, all the rulemaking says is this, is that all information has to be on the rate card. That's basically what it says, to paraphrase it.
Yeah, all them accessorials should be on there with that stuff. And the other thing, like with detention and layover, these guys say, well, they said you were late and this and that. Here's where I think the highway thing is will stop them from a lot of that crap, saying, oh, well, you were late and all that. If you were on time, your ELD has got you there, and you're geo-fenced on property. Okay, highway, with that connection, they can see it. And see that you sat there for 12 hours or 16 hours or whatever it was that they held you up. And, you know, and then you scan your bill of lading in, signed at the time that you got your bill of lading back and all that. And I know the cost for highway is expensive right now, but highway's like the only one doing it. With highway doing it, and with brokers and carriers, brokerages and shippers wanting to use a system like that, it's going to drive competition to that market. So we'll have highway, and next week we'll have, you know, another brand one. We'll have another brand one. And as we get more of those, it will drive that cost down from being $1,000, $1,500 a month, whatever. It'll bring that cost down as we get more competition doing that, just like with ELD services. When we first started with ELDs, they were a lot more money. Now that there's a whole bunch of them you get to choose from, what did that do? Competition drove the price down. So, you know, I think that stuff will get cheaper. And I think, you know, rates and stuff, the shippers are going to have to be paying a little more for this stuff, for the brokerages to make a little more to pay for those services. And they may not be right now, but I think that's what it'll come down to is we're using this system so your freight don't get stolen. So this load has to pay $100 more.
Now, do you agree with them connecting to your e-log though? Because I don't use anybody that uses highway because I'm not connecting to any of my.
I can't even use it. I mean, I'm attached to highway, but my ELD, they don't recognize my ELD service.
Yeah, they only recognize.
I have to do the exemption
every
time.
Just went to highway.
So, yeah, that's one of those things. Like, I mean, it's every time they come to me and one of them goes through and says, hey, we're on highway now. We need you to do the thing. And I'm like, okay. And I always get to that point. Like a couple of them I've been, if you want to keep this up, you're going to have to go through and put the exemption in there. And well, what do you mean? You don't list my ELD. Well, how is that possible? Well, what, do you have every ELD provider available? Well, no. Well, then, duh, that's how that works.
Yeah, and that's something that those services are going to have to work on to where they're using every, you know, ELD, where they can use the system of every ELD that the FMCSA allows you to use to cooperate and work with their system. And with it being so new, yeah, I can see a lot of them not working with highway right now. But I think,
to be honest,
you know, we give it some time.
Rocky, I think the blockchain that you and I was talking about will get rid of highway. It will get rid of highway.
It'll get rid of all of them.
That's the thing. Until we get blockchain in here, like I said, we have to do something to try to fix this bullshit.
Yeah.
You know,
if we're using highway to track the load, what's macro point for them?
The same thing. It's just they don't
highway
use
doesn't
macro
track.
point time.
Highway does not track. It basically what it does, it just pings the ELD every so often. So basically, what I mean, you actually signed like a non-disclosure agreement with Highway when you set up with them because they are very.
So then don't say anything, Cisco, because
yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
they
Okay,
just
brother?
basically.
I don't want to see you get knocked off. So.
what that is that it's just basically when a carrier calls in, and they go, "Hey, I'm calling on your load that you have in Dallas, for example." I can go in there and I'll look and I can see on the mapping that yeah, you have a truck in Dallas. That's basically all that's really for. It just basically lets the broker know that there is some sort of an equipment within a certain area or a certain mileage of the city that you're trying to book a load in.
Right.
So that the double broker can't be using a VIN number. But it's not
necessarily a tracking device like it's thought to be. It's just basically allows the broker to go, oh yeah, this company does have a truck in that area. Right. Do you know what I mean?
So the double broker that's using a truck with a VIN number, and he's in California, but the load's in Georgia.
Yeah,
he can't get it because he's not going to pick it up today because he's in California.
So I just want to say one thing about this rulemaking that I also just submitted. Okay, if you disagree with it, go read it, please. It's on the website. The petition's on there, the format, the formal complaint or comments on there. If you disagree with it, when they put it up for comments, put your disagreement on there. Like I have said multiple times, I am perfectly acceptable with what we have in the FOPT Act. If I get 60% of that done, I'm happy.
Right.
If I get 60% of it, I'm happy. So if you don't agree with, we'll just say this. So I'm going to just read the 3 parts of the requested rulemaking here. The petitioner respectfully requests the FMCSA initiate rulemaking to amend 49 CFR Part 371 and 390 to require disclosure of the original shipper freight rate on the bill of lading issued for interstate transportation of property. 2, establish minimum disclosure requirements for rate confirmation as a condition of regulatory recognition, including disclosure of all material, financial, and accessorial terms prior to dispatch. 3, define transportation documents that fail to meet their requirements as not valid for FMCSA regulatory enforcement, compliance, and evidentiary purposes. Now, if we put that up there, and we'll say all the comments come in, and they come back and we only get 2 of the 3, I got my 60%. I'm happy with that.
Well, why waste your time?
Because there needs to be changes made, Roger, and I'm not just going to sit idly by. Because if I'm wasting my time, then you know what? Every advocacy group ought to just shut the fuck down. Everybody ought to just drive their truck and shut up and take it in the butt and move along with their day.
But here's the problem.
If you don't like it, Roger, when they bring the comment period up, sir, go in there and place your comment on it that you disagree with it.
Well, no, please listen. That's all I'm asking.
I'm just tired of, it's like, my goodness, I try to do something now I'm starting to understand when I all these other lives, I put something up and there's a little bit of a disagreement. Now we got to have a huge argument about it.
I'm not fighting with you.
When it's just in a rulemaking part about it. How about we do this? Huh?
I'm not fighting with you. It's not worth it to me. Because here's the reality. Here's the reality. Sadly, capital SADLY. You're never going to get everybody on your side, not even 60%. And
we'll
because of that, if I may, because of that, sadly, again, the inconvenient truth is people will not accept what you're trying to do, which is unfortunate.
You know what? The thing of it is this. If that's the case, then like I said, every advocacy should shut down. Nobody, OIDA ought to shut down. TNOOA ought to shut down. FOPT ought to shut down. Women in trucking ought to shut down. Truckers Against Trafficking ought to shut down. The Final Mile ought to shut down. Everybody for anything to make better in trucking ought to just stop then, Roger, according to your mindset.
Sir,
if we're never going to be able to agree or anything, then go ahead.
Out of all those organizations, okay, out of all those organizations, what laws have they changed?
Well, actually, out of all of those organizations, the FOPT are the only ones that have actually submitted any rulemakings to the FMCSA. And we are brand new on the block, baby. And I've already got 5 of them in there.
Well, at the end of the day...
So don't tell me never, because ain't none of them ever done what I've done.
I agree with that, 100%.
At the end of the day, okay, there's no doubt you should be respected, you should be appreciated, and you're trying. Okay, but the reality...
But you're telling me that it doesn't matter. You're telling me that it doesn't matter because nobody's ever going to come together, and that I ought to just stop.
Wait and see. Wait and see.
You know what? I can't wait till the day that I prove you wrong, sir. I cannot wait. I so cannot wait.
But
because
here's the
positivity beats negativity every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
But what you're doing, sir, is it worth it? You must think it's worth it. When even Vince has changed totally. From
you know what? I'm going to tell you this. You're right. It's worth it to me to place these rulemakings. It's right for me to go through and write these articles to help truck drivers become better at investing and retirement. It's worth it to me to give my spreadsheet out that I spent 5 years developing and designing for free to truck drivers so that they can make better decisions to operating their business. That is, you know what? And I'm going to keep writing these articles and I'm going to keep writing these rulemakings until we get some change in here. Because there's only been 2 people that I know of that have submitted rulemakings that got published. Matt Kilmer got published and denied, and he's the president of the FOPT. One of my rulemakings is already going up for comment after being submitted. I don't know about the other ones because they're very, very new. But I'm going to keep going, and I don't give a damn what you got to say that's negative. Because every time I do hear this, it is because you tell me that you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anybody to come together. It's why are you doing this? You're wasting your time. You know what? That's all negative, sir. So I am going to keep making these rulemakings. I'm going to keep pushing for positive change in the industry. And I'm going to keep trying to educate those out there that don't know what they're doing. And I don't care. If you don't like the comment, if you don't like the rulemaking, go place your comment when it goes up for comment.
Are you done?
I guess.
Do you feel better?
No. I really don't. No, actually what's sad is that you keep telling me that it's not worth my time.
Okay.
That's what's sad.
So here's what I'm gonna do, sir. Out of respect to you, your process and what you're trying to do, I'm going to remove myself and we'll block each other, okay? Because I don't want to see, please, I don't want to see you this upset. I don't enjoy it.
I'm not upset, Roger.
Oh my God.
But there's no need to block each other.
Okay, I'm going to remove myself. Everybody have the best day they can.
You do this every time somebody challenges you.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I talk to people.
No, sir, you were in one of my lives a while back, about a month ago, and somebody started trying to challenge you, and you did the exact same thing again.
No, I don't.
You literally said, I'm going to remove myself from this situation.
Yeah, I do, because I don't want to fight.
I'm not fighting. I just simply said I'm not. I told you.
Like it. I don't like it.
The thing of it is this. What I'm saying to you is this. You've told me multiple times that it's not worth my time.
It's not.
And you know what? That is negative, sir.
You
know the funny part about it is this.
Are you ready?
How is it? Hold on a minute. Let me ask you this question. Before today, it was very much worth my time to do what I was doing with trying to educate people and making the other rulemakings. And now this one little rulemaking comes out that has this one little line in here that always seems to chap every broker's ass. And that is the simple fact that we're putting the original rate on the rate con. That one line. And the funny part about it is, you know why I put it in the rulemaking? Was to see if it really would keep chapping people's ass. And it did. As soon as I put this one out and we talked about it, the next thing you know, I start getting 17 kinds of pushback. All the way up until here, everything was fine. Everything was fine. What I was doing with putting out a spreadsheet was fine. What I was doing with trying to educate was fine. Now we do this one little thing on anybody that might have to get to know the whole story. And now it's a problem. Now, like I said, anybody that doesn't like that part of it, place your comment when it goes up. All I've done was submit a rulemaking.
Okay, if I may, okay, I'm not going to fight with you because it's not worth it to me. If it's worth it to you, that's fine. And there's a comment there in the chat about Bobby Loads and I hardly go into Bobby Loads anymore. And there's reasons for that. There's reasons for that. Okay, that I'm not going to share and discuss. And Bobby and I have had very frank and direct talks. It's that clear, pure, and simple. Okay? And at the end of the day, do what you do best. And if you feel you are making a difference, that's all that matters. But at the end of the day, it's like Vince here recently, him and I have had a wonderful talk. And he's come to terms with the fact that he's wrong on so many levels and so many areas. And now him and I can have reasonable conversations. I respect what he says. He respects what I say. And we'll wait and see. We will wait and see what happens. And again, the sad part, what I said to Vince, I'll say it publicly, Vince, concentrate on your kids. Because before you know it, they're going to be gone. I don't know if you have kids. Can I finish?
Well, we're having a conversation between you and I don't know why we're bringing Vince into this.
Okay,
That's
because what?
confused.
Because I'm using him as an example, and I'll tell you sadly, sir, you're going to come to the same conclusion at some point in time.
You know what's funny, Roger?
Huh?
You literally told me all the way up until today that I was right about this, and I did great doing on this and great doing on that. And then literally now that I put out that one little line about a disclosure of all information, and now I'm sadly wrong about everything.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Well, you wanted to block me.
It's clear that he's trying to divert. I'm not diverting anything. I'm not diverting anything. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because this is non-consequential to me, and that's why I don't get involved and try and help. Because I've seen it, I've done it, I've been involved, and it never works. I put a buying group together for people, okay, all across Canada. Me and a lawyer, Richard Landy, L-A-N-D, probably the best transportation lawyer in Canada. Okay, him and I put a buying group together. It lasted less than 12 months. Yeah, because everybody deviated it from it. Go ahead, Chris.
So, if you don't have any fight in this, then why are you in this?
That's why I said I'd remove myself. Chris, that's exactly why I said I'd remove myself. Because I don't want to fight and I don't need it.
Only because you were challenged. You were trying to fight it before.
This is not a challenge.
Yeah.
It's not a challenge to me.
Roger, yes, you challenged me as soon as I brought up, as soon as it brought in that line about giving out the original rate from the shipper. That line right there is what seems to chap everybody's ass.
Yep. Listen to what Cisco said.
It does.
Listen to what
you know
Sarah
why?
said.
And you know what the funny part about it is, though?
Transparency actually came out, and everybody's seen the rates. no one would actually follow by the market rates, because the market rates are fixed.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Market
Are
rates
you
are
the
supply and
same guy
demand. You
that
can't
had the
fix supply
rail,
and demand.
that had the cousin with the rail or some damn thing?
I don't know about the rates being fixed,
Yeah, well,
Chris. I
you
don't
see
know
that,
about all that.
you know. Yeah, you're
This-
the one
They-
that
they
left
are.
because you made a fool out of
They're
yourself.
Well,
being
hold
fixed.
on. Well, hold on, bro.
They're
Hold
being
on.
manipulated.
Chris,
Let me put it
explain
that way.
this.
By who?
Well, hold on. Let me explain this one to you here, bud. The load that I'm on right now is a direct ship load, okay? Directly from the trader, okay? And I know what he gave me. And he only made
that's
like
totally
10%.
different. When you're getting it from the direct shipper, that's totally different.
But what I'm going to say is, though, is because I haul these loads, I've gotten loads through a broker before that were on these from these traders, because I basically called and was like, hey, I can you find me a load, because I'm busy dealing with this DDG load and I'm going to spend like 4 hours getting this out, but I really need to have a load when I get done, and I don't have time to look for it right now. And he was like, bet, I got you. Click, boom, done. Pulled a load from these guys, and I know what the load is because I haul it all the time. He only kept 10%.
Right.
And the thing of it is, the rates aren't there. If the rates are fixed,
And
it's
that's
because
fine.
the logistics
And I do the
departments
same thing.
inside the shipping, the logistics departments inside these shippers, they're paying attention to the rates. They know what these lanes are paying every week. They know what they are, because they also go on the DAT board and they see their load. They see it.
Yeah.
They see what it's going for. They automatically know. They know I'm paying the broker this much because obviously they wrote that contract. They know what the broker's actually putting it out over on the DAT board too. So they know where it's going and they know what it's moving. So they automatically know that this is where it's at. And it's moving every day, every week, straight out the
But that's
middle.
still going by market rate, right?
The thing of it is, the problem we have, Chris, is the lack of education with carriers that
Yeah,
don't
it
understand
does.
their operating cost. And because
It
they
does.
don't understand
I
their
totally
operating
agree with
cost,
you.
they take, well, this is where you don't need to worry about the original rate so much as you need to know your operating cost. The only reason I put that part in that rulemaking was to chap some asses, and it worked. I'm not going to lie. I literally set a trap, and it fucking
And the
worked.
reason why I came up is because the way, the hell is his name?
Roger.
Yeah, Roger is coming off and trying to discredit you.
I know. I
So
understand.
I'm trying to stick up for you.
Not
I know.
discrediting him. What I'm saying is what he's doing is not going to work. I've said he's to be respected. I said he's to be accepted. And Chris, your comments about the rail today defied simple logic.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, no, you're the only one that does.
What rail? What are we talking about? Rail?
Yeah, I didn't even talk about rail. So
What are we
you
talking
going
about
off
rail? When
with
did we
that?
start talking about? Is that
When
what
Chris
you brought?
was
Is that
in
what
earlier,
Rocky?
he was on
Chris
about
ain't been in my
rail.
life here. He hasn't been in my life.
Sir, when Chris was in Sarah's live earlier,
Oh, Sarah's live. Okay, I don't know
Okay.
what we're talking about then.
Okay,
There-
I'm lost.
Yeah, I
too.
was
I'm
way
like,
confused.
what?
I'm like, I don't remember
you
you
heard
being
it,
in rail
Cisco.
here.
You heard what he was
I wasn't
saying.
even in any
I
other
don't think I
fucking
was there,
live
Roger.
today.
I apologize. I don't think I was in the live at that time.
I wasn't
Okay, guys,
even in another
okay,
live
here's
today.
where I am.
I haven't
okay?
been in a live
Let me
for
make
over
myself
a week.
perfectly clear. From
Yeah,
one
let me
functional
make
human
myself
primate
perfectly
to
clear.
other
Easy.
I
functional
haven't
human
been
primates.
in a
I
live
don't need this
for
shit.
a couple
I don't
of
want it.
Easy.
And I'm
fucking
out of it.
days.
Okay?
Roger, he just literally said that he hasn't been in a live all day today.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I do wind up having issues with Rogers at times. I really will
He's
say
trying
that.
to divert. He's trying to divert.
Well, I don't know what this rail has to do with anything. So could somebody inform me of what this
Sarah,
rail is?
Sarah just said in the comments at the bottom that it was her,
Hey,
Dexter, Chris.
Cupcake, he was in my live earlier today. And we had a discussion about the rail. It was him, it was me, it was Dexter, and Roger.
Today? No.
Yeah, because I wasn't there. I think Roger.
Actually, you know
there.
what I think you're thinking of?
Today. I've been busy.
You're thinking of his dipshit past partner, Pastime for a Change. I think that's who you're thinking of. Chris and Pastime for a Change are not together anymore. You're thinking for the other guy.
Oh, I remember them. I remember them.
Yeah. So both of you are sadly mistaken on that.
I am not.
Chris and him have decided to spread ways and.
Okay,
yeah.
so either way, Chris, what is your dog in this fight?
He just got tired of listening to Roger tell me I shouldn't keep going.
Okay, so Chris, let me ask you questions. Cupcake, I don't necessarily disagree with you on what you're saying, right? But what is your? I sat down here reading your comments earlier. What is your dog in this fight? Just to attack Roger, or was you actually trying to get somewhere?
I was trying to back up Cupcake, even though I don't agree with everything that he said.
I don't think Cupcake needs you to back him up. I think attacking someone is wrong.
It doesn't matter. It's about backing one another up. It's about.
So let me ask you this:
That's
what
I'm about.
What about this rulemaking that I just put up is wrong?
The rulemaking that you just put up isn't wrong.
No, I think he agrees with you, Cupcake. That's why he was getting up to defend you.
Well, no, he said that he doesn't agree with everything, but he said some of what I'm saying is wrong. So what have I?
Oh, well, I think he got up just on this particular comment, was what I'm understanding.
Yeah, there's just certain things that I don't agree with you on.
Like what?
About.
Well, can I say something about?
Well,
that
hold on.
thing
Let
that
him answer the question real quick. I want him to answer the question. What do you do? What am I wrong about?
Just the way that you're going about it, and then also SPTC.
Going about what?
About the advocacy, about holding people accountable, all of it.
So I shouldn't hold people accountable?
No, you should. Because that's what I'm about. I'm about the accountability.
But then you hold on. So then, what am I wrong about?
I'm about all of it.
Hold on. Well, but what am I wrong? What am I wrong about? If it's okay to hold them accountable, what am I wrong about?
That's a different discussion that we're going to have.
Well, right. If you read right there in the thing, come challenge our ideas. That's actually what it is. I would like to know what I'm wrong about.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what am I wrong?
The way that you try to put it off.
Put what off?
You guys contradict yourselves.
What have I contradicted myself about?
You guys gone against the broker transparency, but yet
I said broker transparency won't fix the industry is what I've said, sir. And no, broker transparency is not going to fix the industry. Okay, well then how am I wrong if I say broker transparency?
At the same time, I've even pointed out my point of view of the transparency, and you still disagree with it, but then you follow through with exactly
what did I disagree with? What part of your broker transparency did I disagree with?
The
only thing I've ever said about broker
bring
transparency
out who's involved in the load. You tried to disagree.
Well, I've never disagreed with that. No, I haven't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I have flat out said no, sir. I have flat out said that broker transparency would help stop double brokering, but it will not fix the industry.
No, it's not going to fix the industry, and I never.
But that's the thing. I've never once said that it won't.
There's more than one issue that won't fix the industry.
I understand that. That's why the FOPT Act has like 16 titles to it, and it's 39 pages long.
Can I ask a question?
There's a lot wrong with the industry, okay? But Cisco, did I not just say in there that it will help stop double brokering by putting the original rate on the rate card?
It would help stop the double brokering. It would help.
So then I'm not. So if I'm saying the same thing as you is, how am I wrong?
Stop a lot of it. But
well, if I say this, how am I wrong by saying the same thing as you say?
Because you never brought it up, and you always tried to argue with me when I tried to bring it up.
Chris,
I said it won't fix the industry, is what I said.
Chris, can I ask you a question? And I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know you. Like, what do you do? Are you a truck driver? Are you a company driver? Are you owner operator? What do you do?
I've done it all.
No, what do you do? I'm trying to learn you. I don't.
Right now, I am a company driver. Have I had my authority? Yes. I've ran my own authority. I started advocating while I was running my authority, and ended up having the engine blow up on me.
All right, so you're a company
and
driver.
It took me out.
And you didn't charge enough, and you failed. But you're a company driver. I'm not insulting you.
Man, Rocky's gonna have a field day.
No, I did.
So
there's a lot to it.
If you're,
I understand that, but I'm wanting to get. I kind of want to get back to this where I'm wrong, because so far,
well, I'm getting to that.
I've agreed with what you have to say. With the broker transparency will show or help stop double brokering.
On this one, yes.
Okay, well then what else am I wrong about?
Conversations, no.
Actually, no. That's what I've always said. I've always said it. If
because
I need to, I will call
pointed out to you the USC codes, and you still fought me on that.
Which USC codes have I fight you on, sir? 13102, 14101, 13708, 13356, 13378. Which one of them?
1307 through 1310. You tried to fight me on.
Well, guys, I'm gonna go to bed.
1307 and 1310 doesn't have anything to do with any of the transportation.
Good night,
13708
Actually,
does.
it does.
Cisco, Rocky, OG. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night.
Sarah.
To the transparency. That's
no,
what
13708 has to do with the transparency, not 1307. 13708 does.
Yeah, 13708 does.
Yes,
but you also put in 707 to 710, which means in 707, 709, and 710.
I know how to count. I don't need to take my shoes off. I know how to count.
Yeah.
I really don't know where you're, because I don't even think that
each number reflects off of each other.
Well, 13710 has to do with the carrier and not the broker, because that's a carrier must issue any bill for charges, so that has nothing to do with the broker. 13709 is procedures for resolving claims.
Together.
It's actually 13709 is about resolving claims, so that has nothing to do with really with transparency. I know what 708 says, and 707 is payment of rates. So, which is a carrier providing transportation or service subject to jurisdiction under this part shall give up possession of the destination of the property. That has nothing to do with broker transparency. That has to do with the payment and giving the property.
Because it goes to the broker, and the broker is supposed to give it to the carrier.
It doesn't have to do with transparency.
It's every party in the load is what you're not connecting.
I'm reading it.
49 CFR 371 is what actually states.
Well, now, hold on. Now we're going from code to regulation. Hold on. Now you're going from code to regulation. First we were in U.S. Code 13707.
Because you have to
now we're going to regulation
together. You have to
actually
include
one
all
governs
together.
the other, but the thing of it is 13708 is the only one that has anything to do with 371.3. The 707, 709, and 710 have nothing to do with it. There's even court cases to back that up. And it's only 13708 that has anything to do with 371. That is the only U.S. code that has anything to do with 371.
That's only what the courts have recognized only.
Well, that's the precedent that's set, so that's the law that we have to go with. You have to, you
That's
have
what
to
we're
understand
trying
how
to
the
push
rules work.
for.
Well, what you're
That's
gonna
it.
so you're bringing litigation to bring 707, 709, and 710 that have nothing to do with broker transparency?
It actually does. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Actually, they don't. When you read it, it has nothing to do with it. It's only
Yeah,
708.
it does.
Oh, well, I don't know how, because I've read it multiple times.
Yeah,
I think
and so
you
have
went
I.
down the rabbit hole there, Cupcake.
Bro, I went down this rabbit hole with 13707. I promise you that. The whole 13707, 708, 709, 710, I spent about 4
And
days
who's to
researching
say I
this.
didn't dig even deeper?
Well, then, if you would have dug even a little bit, you would have seen that it's only 708. And the
Nope.
court cases only show precedent for 708, sir.
707 to 710 actually.
There's no
define
court case precedent that shows any of those
it. It
other
doesn't
three.
matter on the court cases that's been
It actually
present
does.
already.
No, actually
No,
it
it
does.
doesn't.
When you go through and argue this, you have to go and look at the court cases and the precedents that
No,
those
because you're
cases
going off of
have set.
previous cases.
Those previous cases are what the courts follow when you challenge a law.
Okay, even when the law is even created, there is no cases before it, right?
And
So
this
how
is
do
how
you
they
define it?
well, this is where the definitions come in for a carrier or transportation or whatever. You have to go back and look in 13102 and look and see what those words and how they are defined. You also have to read how they put the words together.
The
Because
same
all this
point.
states is
It's the
all this
same
states
point.
transfer of possession upon payment. That is what 13707 is. It's transferring
Yeah.
our possession upon payment, which means that once you deliver the load and you're paid, the property transfers over to them. That has nothing to do with transparency. That has to do with the possession
Yeah, it
of
does
the goods.
actually.
That has to do with possession of goods, not transparency. Transparency is wanting to be able to see the original rate.
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Hey, Chris.
Transparency is seeing who's involved in the
I
load.
feel like we've done this
Every single
before.
party involved in the load has a right to that.
To the goods once
Regulation
it's been
and the
the
law.
transfer of goods? No, they don't.
Yes.
The only people that have a right
Yeah,
to the goods
they
is the
do.
consignee. No.
No.
The shipper, no.
The shipper, the
consignee is the only one
consignee,
has.
the carrier, the broker.
You have no right to
everybody.
those goods. You have no right to those goods as the
Okay.
carrier.
See, agree to disagree.
So in
Chris,
other words,
I have one
I
question.
get to keep the load that's on my trailer now just because I haven't been paid for it? That's called
Yep.
theft. No.
No,
That's
it ain't.
called theft.
No, it's not. Now,
Oh,
if you
yeah, it
can't-
is. Oh, try that
No,
one on for
it's
size.
not.
I'll guarantee you're going to
Yes,
get
it is.
arrested for grand
The only way it
theft.
counts as theft is if it's in a location where you're saying that you're not in.
No, when you are holding
Yeah,
on
it
to
is.
someone else's
Or where it's
property.
supposed to be. Where
I-
it's supposed
well,
to be at.
Okay, listen to this. Transfer of possession upon payment. That means it transfers to me only if I pay for the goods. If I haven't paid for the goods, then it doesn't transfer to me.
And you're not paid for the goods, are you? Because there's
Then I
a
don't
30
get to
day,
keep
60
possession.
day, 90 day, 120.
I don't get to keep possession of it because I haven't paid for it. That's what that's stating. Transfer possession
Because
upon
you're not a
payment.
freight forwarder.
I haven't paid for it, so I don't get to keep it. That's why it's considered theft if you don't deliver it. That has nothing to do with transparency.
It's considered theft. It's considered theft if you're not delivering it, if you're in a different location than what you actually say.
No.
Yeah. Or
No.
a show. Or a
No.
show. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now,
No.
if you go through and you decide not to deliver a load, you are going to be charged with grand theft, sir. Because it's anything over
They will
$5,000, and
try,
I've
yeah.
never hauled a
They
load.
will try, yes.
Although
You don't
they
own the
succeed, you don't own the freight.
Be-
No,
That's
they're
it.
not going to succeed.
Oh, I promise you
I
they
can
You
will.
don't
guarantee
own the
you that
freight,
because
Chris.
I've done it.
Chris, I
You
think
don't
the only
own the freight.
Chris, I think the confusion may be that you're confusing a COD payment versus a contract with a broker. If it's not a COD payment, then you no longer you can't hold that property hostage. And that's kind of how that falls into play. You have a contract with a broker that's different. But if you're on a COD, that changes the rules considerably. It's almost like a towing company.
And that's exactly what they want you to believe.
But that's only on a COD. That doesn't apply to something under contract. Under contract, you can't do
All the
that.
votes
It is considered theft.
COD by law unless stipulated in the contract. And it's got to be a contract between
Every
all
rate
parties.
con, hold on.
All
Every
parties.
rate con says that the load has to be picked up
Which
at a
is
shipper
where
and
the
delivered to a
transparency comes
consignee.
in to where you see
Every
all
load
of the
says that.
contract.
Every rate con that you sign, when you sign that rate con states that you're going to pick up the load at said shipper
But that doesn't
and deliver it to
that
the
doesn't
consignee.
mean that the broker
And it's
isn't
when you
getting
choose not
paid
to-
right away either.
When
does
you
it?
choose to break that contract, that is when it becomes theft. Because if the rate con says you're going to deliver, this is why all rate cons have a date on them. And if you don't deliver it by that date, you better have a damn good reason, like you're broke down or something, or they will charge you and successfully convict you for theft. Because if you choose to take that load somewhere else and go somewhere else with it, that is theft. If it doesn't go to the
if you go
consignee,
somewhere
that's
else
theft.
with it,
Well,
yeah.
anywhere other than the consignee is theft, Chris.
Exactly.
You've signed.
But
Well,
if
if-
you are at the consignee and you hold that freight, that is not theft.
Yes, it is. You are to deliver the
No,
freight.
it's
Yes.
If
Okay.
you don't deliver it, it's theft.
Yeah.
Is it?
But
what
Chris,
code is he
I have one
talking
question
about?
for you that'll tell me a lot. Why did you fail when you had your authority?
My engine seized up.
Okay,
That's what
so
took
why
me
could
out.
so why couldn't you rebuild it or put a motor in it or buy another truck?
Because I just had a in-frame done on it for 45,000 a year and a half before.
Wait, you paid $45,000 for an in-frame?
A complete in-frame. Yes.
Holy moly!
God, I paid 50,000
Wow.
I would've
for
just
a
bought a new
fucking
truck.
crate motor. Yeah. I bought a crate
Holy
motor
cow,
for
that's a brand new
50,000.
engine.
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
So right here, under regulations of the Secretary governing the payment of transportation and service and preventing discrimination, those carriers may give up possession at destination of the property transported by them before payment for the transportation of service. So that automatically removes you from being able to hold the load. That's literally 13707 B1. Right there. Before payment. Give up possession at destination of property transported by
That's
them.
a contract between the broker and
That's a
the
U.S. code,
manufacturer.
sir. No, that's a code. That's 13707B1. 49 USC 13707B1.
So you,
Those
as
carriers
a carrier,
may give up possession at destination
that
of property
would
transported by them
implement
before
that.
payment.
Or
That right
a
there
broker
automatically tells you
implementing
have
that.
to give up the load.
But once you imply the broker, it becomes different.
No, it becomes
That's
civil.
not transparency, though.
No, it doesn't.
It becomes
That's not
civil.
transparency.
That's where the
absolutely right.
transparency
This is
comes
exactly
in.
what I was
Is
saying.
when you're
No, it
That's what
doesn't.
we're saying. When the carrier
middleman.
wanted to hold the load hostage, the law won't do anything about it because it becomes civil. It's a civil dispute between two companies. It's not
Yeah,
it's not theft. I get that part.
that's how the courts look at it. Yes.
But it's not theft necessarily. They won't do anything. But I believe that 1307 isn't that.
It's for transfer.
It's more direct freight.
It's literally, it's payment of
It
rates.
defines direct freight.
Right here, 49 U.S. Code 13707, payment of rates. A, transfer of possession upon payment. Except as provided in subsection B, a carrier providing transportation or service subject to jurisdiction under this part shall give up possession at the destination of the property transported by it only when payment for the transportation or service is made. B, exceptions. 1, regulations. Under regulations of the Secretary governing the payment for transportation and service and preventing discrimination, those carriers may give up possession at destination of property transported by them before payment for the transportation or service. Basically meaning you need to deliver the fucking load when you show up to the consignee.
Basically stating that when a broker is involved, the broker
It says
contract,
nothing about that. It says nothing about a broker. It says a carrier.
it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to state a brokerage. It doesn't have to state a broker.
No, it does, because carrier is
No, it
defined
doesn't.
as. No, actually, this is the definition for that term carrier. That definition right here means a motor
broker
carrier,
is not
a water
a carrier.
carrier, and a freight forwarder. That is what that term carrier means.
Okay, so then you're describing a direct shipment, period. You're not even involving a broker.
It has nothing to do with transparency, Chris. You that's what you don't
The
understand.
transparency comes in when the middleman, which is the
There
broker
is no
or
middleman in that
brokerage.
definition. There is no middleman in that definition. Those carriers may give up possession. Like this is where you have to click on the words and read how they are defining it. And there's nothing about a broker in any of that. It's a carrier.
And you have to combine the laws too.
There's nothing to
Especially
combine
when you're
there.
adding a middleman into it.
There's nothing to combine on this one. Not on 707. That's for payment and transfer, which means you have to give up the property when you get there.
Which means the transfer is either going to the carrier or the brokerage.
There's
Okay,
nothing about a broker
these are the
in
people.
there.
These are the people we're trying to educate, bud.
No, it's more me educating you guys. But
Don't fix it.
I know.
yeah,
I'm
don't
sorry,
twist
but-
it. Don't twist it.
No,
Rocky.
actually, you
Yeah,
are so.
whatever.
Hey, let me tell you something, Chris.
Bye.
An engine blowing up a year and a half after I had it rebuilt would not have put me out of business.
He literally just hung up. You know the funny part about it is I literally was able to pay for 2 engines because I lost the first one due to that stupid manifold in the DD15 blowing out the side of the plastic, and then the next one, almost identical to a year later, cracked the liner and made chocolate milk. And you know what? A year later, I'm still running. I spent 50 grand at the beginning of the year for a brand new engine.
Well,
But he's going to educate me.
I kind of want to go back to what he was trying. I think what he was trying to say, but I may be very wrong. What I thought he was trying to say was the difference between a contracted load versus a COD load. And a COD load plays under totally different circumstances. A contracted load, which is a load you get through a broker, or you can even still get a COD load through a broker, but the COD means cash on delivery. Once that's stated, then yes, absolutely. If they don't have the cash and you're at delivery, you get to hold that. There is nothing in there that can stop them or stop you from holding that freight until they pay you. But if it's not specifically stated as cash on delivery or a COD, then there is no way you can hold that freight. You can't hold it hostage. You can't do anything. You have to deliver it, and then you have to go through civil matter in order to get the court to force them to pay you.
Yeah.
Agreed, 100%.
Well, it's right there. 13707B1. The exception literally states that. Like, I read it 5 fucking times.
Yeah, I had that same situation happen in oh gosh, not McAllen, but I want to say Farr. Maybe it was Farr. It was either Farr or McAllen, one of the two. Was it Farr? I'm sorry. It was Farr, Texas, and the guy didn't want to pay. I'm like, well, I don't really care. Oh, we'll pay you tomorrow. No, you pay me now, or it doesn't get delivered. And well, no, we'll wire the money to your bank tomorrow morning because our banks are closed. Well, then I guess we're going to sit on it overnight, and it'll sit on my trailer overnight. You just get to pay me overnight, a layover pay. Oh, well, we can't do that. Well, then I'm going to take it back to Houston, and I'm going to sit on it. And if you don't pay me then for the transportation back to Houston, then I'm just going to put it in a storage yard and we'll sit on it until the courts decide.
You're 100% correct there, Tool Time, because when hauling cars, when we would haul some POVs, they would be COD. We'd pick them up in the Northeast and bring them down south or vice versa, and they would be CODs, and if they did not have money to pay, it went to a damn impound yard or a tow lot until they paid.
Yeah, and that was the only way I got away with that, was because it was COD. Otherwise, I had to deliver it. I didn't have a choice in the matter.
Did you get it in writing?
No. It's funny. The way that broker had done the contract, believe it or not, was like a standard normal broker contract. He didn't have anything specific in there for non-payment of COD. I had to actually revert back to towing laws in order to hold that shipment. And the consignee was livid. He wanted his machine. He wanted his excavator off that truck. He wanted it in his lot. And I'm like, I can't until you pay me. So the consignee was literally going to give me a cashier's check to pay me so he could get his machine. And he was going to fight with the broker in civil court over it later.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to bed,
I'm telling
guys.
you, man.
I will talk to you all later.
These are the
Cupcake.
All right.
Have a good night.
Rocky. Good night.
Go, you
I'm
too.
gonna go to bed
Have
too.
a good night, y'all.
Okay.
I mean, look, this is what I go
Cupcake,
through,
we
dude.
love you, man. We love you. We love you, man.
Like, Jesus.
Hey.
You don't love us back? We don't get
No,
any
I love
love
y'all
back.
too, man. No, sorry, bro. I was just trying to close on my laptop there. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, man. It's literally like when you sit there and you work your ass off or something like that, and then you turn around and Roger goes through and says, well, you might as well just give up because fucking, I'm like, are you fucking serious, dude?
I know.
Up until today, you want to say that everything I'm doing is right?
I understand.
Like,
I understand where you're coming from. I understand what Roger's saying too. I mean, it's emotional for you, man. You're putting a lot of work into this. I get it.
It's not emotional.
I totally get it.
Well, no, this
you
isn't
want to make
emotional.
changes. You want to make
Well, no.
changes. You want to help.
This isn't that. Hold on. This is what pissed me off. Up until today, everything I was doing was right, according to Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Everything today. And then we come over, and then after I put that one thing in there about that original rate,
right,
for the bringing it out. Now everything I'm doing is wrong, and we need to shut it all down because you're not going to make any changes. And you want to bitch about Vince flipping script? Are you serious?
Well, like I said, my position as a broker, as a person who does that, like I said, my position was I would like to see it tested. I would like to see, is it going to hurt what I'm doing? Is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt the business? That's what I would like to know. You know, I mean, I don't have any problem with being transparent, but who am I being transparent to? My competition, other brokers? That to me is just defeating the purpose. That's where I get, that would be the part that would worry me, if you know, for lack of, I guess, a better, you know, I could carry the carrier. I mean, whatever. I mean, unfortunately, I can negotiate circles around most carriers. I mean, it's they don't even worry me, not one bit. I deal with them on a daily basis. I mean, they're very few, like the people that are in this room right here. Look at, there's what, 9 of us in here. I mean, you know, and the majority of them are Chris, unfortunately. That's who they are. So I'm not worried about that. I could tell them all day long how much I'm getting paid. It doesn't bother me one bit. But what does bother me is that giving that information to one guy just to go stab me in the back by giving that information to my competition, that would suck.
And I
that's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm at with that too. I'm with you on it. But I think the other part is brokerages also handle loads from shipper to cold storage, the truck from there to the cold storage. They pay the cold storage facility, then they go and have another truck come get it and take it to wherever it's going. That shipper may have paid that entire rate for the 2 trucks and the cold storage fees all in that rate. So if this driver that's ignorant, like the guy that was on there a few minutes ago, and sees this thing paid $6,000 and it's only paying him $2,000 to take it to here, the broker has to pay the cold storage $1,500 and then $2,000 for the other truck, right? That guy is not going to understand that, because you see what we're dealing with, right?
Right.
And that's where I think the problems will lie, with the rate being on the BOL.
I'll say this, and I've said it several times. My biggest argument about this is I don't give a crap what the broker makes. I really don't.
I don't either.
It shouldn't matter to me what the broker makes. I accept a load at X number of dollars, whatever that may be. $3 a mile, $5 a mile, $20 a mile. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I accepted that because that was what I determined was going to be profitable for my business, whatever my business may be. I accept that. I don't care what the broker makes. If he makes $30 a mile, good for him. He negotiated a great better rate than I could have done. So hats off to him. Let him make money. That's what this whole American dream is all about, is we, you know, you go chase that dream, you go make money. You're better at negotiating than I am, you know, and a good, so what do I care what he makes? I don't. I really don't. So the transparency thing to me is moot. It really is.
This is where I'm at with this. Right. And this is where I'm at with this. And there's, I'm going to give you guys the other reason of why I put that in there. One was to set the trap, like I said. I wanted to see whose ass I was going to chap. And I found it pretty quick. The other is this. I talk about bringing the entire industry together. We have the side of the industry like you guys that don't think that the original rate should be in there, right? And I respect your opinion. We also have the other side of the industry that thinks the rate should be in there. So how about we do this? How about we put the rulemaking out there and let the masses decide?
I don't care about the rate.
That say, well, what I'm saying is you get enough of them out there to comment to say that, hey, we like having the accessorials in there, but we don't like having the original rate in. Guess what? If we get enough that says that, then I bet they remove the original rate and they keep the accessorials. If we have a masses that says, hey, we want to know it all, and the majority, since we are a constitutional republic that votes on stuff, and we go off of what the majority wants, if the majority of the comments say that this is what they want, then that's what happens. If you don't want it, vote against it.
My contention on the whole thing is simply this. Don't make this so ambiguous that I can't understand it. Make it all clear and upfront. Hey, I'm going to charge you, you know, you're going to get this much for detention time. You're going to get this much for layover. You're going to get this much for deadhead. You're going to get this much for blah, blah, blah. I want to see all of that black and white, in numbers, in contract, up front, before we even sign anything, so I know exactly what I'm going to get paid for, and I can then decide whether or not I agree or disagree with it. Oh, I'm going to go to sit someplace for 8 hours. Okay, I know my first 2 hours are free, and after that I'm going to get $800 an hour. Well, then great. And I'm okay with that. If you make it ambiguity, oh, well, I got to call and get approval. That wasn't in the rate con. I didn't ask for that. I want that up front. I wanted to know before I sign the contract that that's in there, and there's no going back on it later on down the line when you realize you're going to go in your pocket and pay me what I should be paid.
Right. And that right there, if you go through and you read, you can pull the petition up on the website. I literally attached the actual petition that I wrote on the website. That is the second line in section 6 requested rulemaking is, and establish the minimum disclosure requirements for rate confirmations as a condition of regulatory recognition, including disclosure of all material, financial, and accessorial terms prior to dispatch.
I read it. I already went on there and looked at it, and I agree with you 100%.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for actually reading it, because most of the people that come on here have never read half the stuff that I wrote and try to argue with me about it.
Are you looking at me, Cupcake? Come on, man.
I mean, I could look at you, but I wasn't. I'm just going to say, I could look at you, but I wasn't. I don't know if you noticed, but I was looking at my computer. I'm just saying,
rubs my nose in it.
I'm just saying, I was looking at my computer. I wasn't looking at anybody. It's what I was, I don't know how many that do that, though. And it's like, have you read it? Well, no. Well, then what the fuck are you talking about? Because you don't know,
Right. And when I pulled it up and told you it wasn't showing, and then I refreshed because it brought up the continue resuming deal. When I clicked on it to get back to the page, and
what
when
is
it
the
stayed
website
up there,
again?
I stayed up and I read the thing.
I
so
swear to
what are you
God,
talking about?
We the FOPT.org. You know what? I have your personal number. I'm going to blow your phone up all night tonight. I'm going to schedule out about 500 text messages that all say we the FOPT.org. Your phone
You did this to a guy
about
with
2 o'clock in the
ADHD?
morning. Or you're gonna probably have to shut your phone off. So,
I know.
Hey, Cisco, have you got an iPhone?
No, I don't.
Oh, damn it.
I have
Because
an
I can
Android.
go to my text and make it send it to you every 10 minutes or something. I can schedule the text.
oh, I can do
And I
that.
can
I
go
don't
to
have
bed.
that scheduling. Yeah.
That's why I don't
Cisco,
have
you
an
need to go
iPhone.
get an
I'm gonna
iPhone.
come right back at you. So
That was
I'm
good.
just
That
giving
was
you a hard time.
priceless.
I just wanted you to laugh, man. I wanted you to laugh before you went to bed, Cupcake. That's all.
no,
man.
I'm good, bro. I promise you, I'm good. I'm just very passionate, so I get loud.
I know
And
you
I'm
are.
half
I
deaf.
know.
I'm half deaf
Hey,
as well.
I'm the
So-
same way you are, Mike. I get passionate about some things, and I'll get a little loud sometimes too.
Yeah.
It's
It's
one of
all
those.
right,
Well,
man.
the
There
thing
ain't
of it is
nothing
that
wrong with
when somebody's sitting here trying to tell me that what I'm reading is wrong, and I know how to read, and like a lot of times I have people that call me and go, "Can you tell me what the fuck that word is that you put in that rulemaking?" Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know what big words mean, and if I don't, I'm gonna go look them up, and then you're gonna sit here and try to tell me that I don't know what I'm reading. I'm sorry,
Right.
or like
I could have had a field day. I could have had a field day with him. That's why I told Cisco I'm gonna be nice. But I could have had a field day
I
with
was
him.
like, oh shit, did he just say he blew a mortar and went out of business? I was like, man.
Well, I
you know the
couldn't.
funny part about
When he
it
said
is-
45,000, I was already out of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know the funny part about it is the U.S. code that he completely and totally missed that actually covers broker transparency is 13702. He never even said that.
Yeah. They read what they want to out of it, and they kind of put it together the way they want it to read, and instead of it reading it for what it is.
Cupcake, hats off to you, my friend. I really appreciate you putting out the effort and actually putting that rulemaking, actually putting it in on Saturday like you did. That was just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
You're welcome. I mean, you don't have to thank me though. That's the whole idea of the FOPT, man. It's just we're here to educate. We're here to make some changes, and the thing of it is, I'm doing it by rulemaking, so everybody gets a voice. All you have to do is just go to the FMCSA. Oh, I know that.
Right.
You're not just talking about it. You're actually doing it. That's a big difference.
Oh, well, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, that's like where Chris tried to say that the National Owner Operators Association has actually made accomplishments, and I'm like, man, I actually just checked them out because somebody sent me and said I need to look at it. They ain't done nothing. I haven't seen. There's no rulemakings I've seen done. Now I will tell you this: you can become a member for $45 a month, like OIDA. You know.
Yeah. Because none of the other advocacy groups.
Just download the spreadsheet. It's free.
In all these years, they've
you.
never submitted anything like like you have. They've never done any of that. Submitted any of that to the FFCSA for rulemaking.
I know, but yet people try to tell me all the time, oh no, they have. Where did Charles Claiborne, where did he put anything up for rulemaking? I never seen that. Has Mike or freaking Jane put anything up at We the Truckers? No. Dave put anything? No. Has Bob or Deb Murphy put anything up? No. Hell, OIDA, I don't even believe, they've done one, maybe two rulemakings?
Yeah, OIDA hasn't done much. OIDA, the only thing they're good for is insurance. Physical damage and stuff used to be decent rates with them. But even if you have your own authority, that Lloyd's of London that they use, there's so many people that won't accept it. That
man, what a lousy insurance company that is.
Yeah, lousy.
Amen.
And that was the only thing I ever used OIDA for was my physical damage and bobtail.
Actually, I only use them for my CMCI, my drug consortium.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I'll tell you, it's actually really nice because I think I pay like a total of $215 a month or a year. It's $215 a year. That's my OIDA membership, so they can say I'm one of the 150,000 some members they have. And then, but I don't have to pay for the drug test. It's already taken care of. They just call me whenever it's my turn to go give my specimen, and I go to wherever the closest little clinic thing is, and I go do my little pee-pee, and they, I don't know, it's like, usually about a week or two later, I get a little thing in an email that says, you passed your drug test, and that's it. So.
Big Bird, you say you can't get their physical damage and stuff in Florida anymore? Used to. I had it for many years.
Wow. Well, so what I've heard about Florida, I've learned some things over the last couple of weeks about Florida. Because of the amount
gentlemen,
of
I just wanted to say good night. I'm sorry, Cupcake. Good night, guys. Good night.
Good night, Cisco. I'm right behind you.
All right.
Yeah, shit, it's midnight. I probably ought to shut this down. It is midnight, Jesus.
Yeah, I gotta get up in 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Myself.
I gotta get up at 3:30. I gotta let you go too.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Challenge me another day.
All right, Cupcake. Talk to you later. Have a good
night.
We'll
do next weekend when you're sitting again.
Hey, man, come on. Don't jinx me like that, Al.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.